Greetings, Parsippany Troy Hills school community. Each January, I take the opportunity to update the Board of Education and our school community on our district goals. Even during this challenging and atypical school year, we have made smart progress in many areas, and I'm excited to share these achievements with you. I also want to be sure to note that this is not the work of one person or even just a few people, but rather thank you to our principals, our vice principals, our supervisors, and all of our educators for their leadership and involvement. What you will hear about tonight truly is the result of many hearts and many minds. Since our district returned in September to in-person learning, at first for 4 days a week, and now 5 days a week at kindergarten through 8th grade, we've made the most of our time together. Here are some of our highlights. We've had 665 students participate in fall sports, promoting sportsmanship, self-discipline, teamwork, and physical and mental health, and this was at both of our high schools. I know from speaking with our high school students that those who were involved in athletics during the fall expressed their appreciation to their coaches for being able to keep practices and games going, and they felt that it was one important piece of what made the school year feel a little bit more normal to them. We had 262 middle school student athletes participate in special cross-town meets, and that made us one of the few districts to be able to run a middle school sports program this year. We've had 277 elementary school students in grades 3 and 4 studying violin, viola, and cello. And finally, 14 schools, all of our schools, presented student performers in fall dramas, winter concerts, virtual tree lightings, Veterans Day ceremonies, talent shows, and more. While certainly it is not the same as being in person to see the talent that we have in all of our schools, our teachers and our students have been extremely creative in making sure that their work still is available for public performance. As we look to our 3 strategic planning goals and the district goals that are embedded within those, our first strategic planning goal speaks really to students' academic experiences. That innovative and rigorous educational experiences in a borderless learning community that produces creative students who are problem solvers and self-directed individuals. Within this area, we have been proceeding with word study resources at the elementary level, and we'll move into curriculum writing this summer. Our social studies revision for grades 5 through 8 is on track for summer curriculum writing and will be implemented in September of the coming school year. Our science curriculum review is moving ahead, and our business teachers conducted a very thorough and smart examination of their courses. We have several new course recommendations that you'll hear about in a little bit, and a business pathway is also under consideration. Our supervisors and teachers have been working hard to implement a dual enrollment program with NJIT for calculus, AP Calculus, and AP Statistics. And finally, our advanced mathematics classes at the elementary level are yielding new coursework coming into our middle school mathematics that will provide accelerated opportunities and rigor for these students. If we take a closer look at some of these classes in particular, in the social studies department, last year in 2019-20, we implemented an AP Human Geography class for the very first time, and we had 44 students last year enroll in that class. This was really important for us because AP Human Geography is one of the few AP classes that really can be available to underclassmen. Many times you'll see our juniors and seniors only taking AP courses because of the rigor and of the prior knowledge that is needed for those classes. AP Human Geography is a course that many districts open to freshman and sophomore level students. This year, for the 2020-2021 school year, The AP Human Geography class has 63 students enrolled. We also implemented AP Psychology for the first time this year, and we have a whopping 206 students enrolled in that class. That's super exciting. In mathematics, last year we began an accelerated grade 5 math program to identify students who were ready for a quicker pace in math and a more rigorous experience. Last year we had 51 grade 5 students take part in that class. This year we have 57 grade 5 students. We began a STEM Pathways program last year, and at Parsippany High School had 99 students enroll, and at Parsippany Hills High School had 136 students enroll. This has become so successful that it has really provided us with the opportunity to add additional advisors to this program. It's also really prompted us to cap the program at 100 and create a waiting list. And so we are at that cap in both of our high schools as we prepare for the next school year. We began a cybersecurity industry certification program. This is a 3-course sequence. Networking is the first class, and that's running this year. We have 13 students at Parsippany High School and 30 students at Parsippany Hills High School, and it's our hope that those students will continue for the next 2 courses and walk away with an industry certification that really will allow them to walk into a job and a career at that point without additional college courses if they desire. Finally, we've been working to build our robotics program, and this year we have 14 students at the high school and 31 students at Hills High School participating in a robotics class. So I mentioned advanced placement classes, and let's take a closer look at that. We've been focusing for a few years now on offering more AP opportunities for our students. And what this chart shows you is that over the past several years, there's been a distinct increase in the number of students taking an AP class and taking the exam. So you'll see if we look at the 2020 school year, and AP exams typically take place in May of that school year. We had 469 total students enrolled in an AP class. That's an increase of over 100 from the prior year. We also had an increase of over 250 exams taken for a total of 1,057 exams. Now, not all students who take an AP class take the exam. We do have more students taking that each year, and that matters a great deal. You'll also notice that because of the way the numbers fall, you'll recognize quite quickly that some students take more than one AP course. In fact, many students take more than one AP course. If we look at the number of students who scored a 3 or higher, for the 2020 school year, we had 430 students. Scoring a 3 or higher really is our benchmark, because when colleges look at a student's transcript for AP classes, they'll look to see that the student earned a 3 or a 4 or a 5. And 3 is typically what most colleges look for if they're going to give credit to that student for the class, or if they're going to waive a particular requirement because that class has already been met by that student taking an AP at the high school level. And then finally, if we look at the percentage of the AP students who scored a 3 or higher, we've remained consistent at over 91% of our students. And that's really exciting and important, because even as we grow the program and we have more students taking tests, the quality, the performance level has not changed. And that's really a testament to the students who are working really hard and their teachers who are teaching them so well. So why do AP courses matter? Research has shown that once students are in college, AP students outperform their non-AP peers. Students who are in advanced placement perform better in their first year of college, and we know students typically who have a great freshman year experience will return for sophomore year and beyond. Students who perform well in AP classes are more likely to return for their second year of college, even after controlling for prior academic performance. Students who took an AP exam were likely to complete their college degree in the same area as the exam or a closely related discipline. And we know there's been a lot of study lately about the number of students who actually enroll in college versus the number of students who successfully complete their degree after 4 years. And what we're finding is that students who took an AP course in high school tend to be a part of the group that actually completes a degree within 4 years. The best predictor of bachelor's degree attainment was the rigor of courses a student completed in high school. And that speaks to not only advanced placement courses, but honors level classes, some of the dual enrollment classes you'll hear me talk about in a bit. Certainly the ability to read critically, write well, and communicate with power and clarity matters anywhere. It matters in all of your high school and college classes, and it certainly matters tremendously in the workplace. We've been working very hard to explore a partnership with NJIT so that we can expand our students' exposure to college-level instruction. And I had the opportunity to listen to Professor Eck from NJIT just this past week speak with parents of our current freshman students about our dual admissions program with NJIT. We have 3 additional math teachers and 1 additional physics teacher who have been approved to be teaching at our high school for students who will get credit for that class through NJIT. We are also awaiting approval for an additional math teacher and 3 additional physics teachers. Potential new dual enrollment courses with NJIT include Physics Enriched and Physics Honors, Fundamentals of Engineering, AP Statistics, Calculus, and AP Calculus. If you're interested in more information about dual enrollment classes, I would encourage students or parents to speak with either your child's counselor or our math and science supervisors. That would be Kelly Curtis and Rachel Villanova. If we look at our elementary strings program, and our board members and many of our parents will remember seeing our elementary students perform last February before we closed down at concerts on both sides of town. This year we have 3rd and 4th grade students taking violin, viola, or cello, and the numbers by school are shown on the screen for you. You may see that in some cases the number of students taking a strings instrument have declined a bit, and I would suggest that that's due to one main thing. In our district, students begin a strings instrument in grade 3, but they begin a band instrument in grade 4. And so we may have students who started in grade 3 as a strings student, but then the lure of drums or trumpet or clarinet has drawn them away from strings and they're pursuing a different instrument. And that's okay. Keeping students involved in music, whether it's choral or instrumental of any type, has far-reaching results for our students, and we're excited to see them be involved in band, whether it's strings or other. We have many new courses being proposed for next school year in the math and computer science arena. Computer programming in C++, Algebra 3 and trigonometry, a middle school ESL math class so we can really address some very specific needs for those unique learners, and grade 7 algebra. You heard me speak about grade 5 students who've been identified for a special accelerated program. Those students, when they become 6th graders, and they are now, are taking pre-algebra, which means as 7th graders, they'll be ready for algebra. So that course will be written this summer, and those current 6th graders will be in 7th grade algebra. That means as 8th graders, they'll be in geometry, and that's really exciting. Our high school principals have recommended a freshman seminar class for freshmen, which would promote study skills, organizational skills, as well as just some of the school readiness skills that are so necessary in a high school setting. In the science department, Fundamentals of Engineering has been recommended, and we are re-recommending food sustainability and human and planetary health. We offered this last year. Enrollment was very low, and we're hoping that there will be peaked interest in it this year. from our business department, and you heard me say that the business teachers have really undertaken a very thorough review and are offering some very new, relevant, and exciting classes. That would include Business Computer Applications 1 and 2, an Introduction to Economics, Entrepreneurship, and Accounting Honors Level 1 and Level 2. Additionally, in the business department, and these would be electives for a semester elective, investments, marketing 1, social media marketing, sports and entertainment marketing, and college and career exploration. Part of the strategic planning goal number 1 also speaks to borderless learning opportunities for our students, and certainly in a year where we have many students learning remotely, other students in part of our hybrid instruction, which means that 1 week they're in class and 1 week they're learning from home. The borderless learning opportunities have really abounded this year. We also have high school students who are taking part in our virtual high school program. Parsippany High School has 7 students enrolled. Hills High School has 13 students enrolled. And we also have 3 8th graders enrolled at Central Middle School who are taking geometry. We continue to explore partnerships with NJIT, as I just spoke about, and Fairleigh Dickinson University that provide dual enrollment opportunities for our high school students. And we've had increased access and information sharing using all the virtual tools that we've developed during our COVID hybrid learning, including Google Sites, YouTube channels, and different web conferencings. Strategic planning goal number 2 calls for all students to receive social and emotional support to become adaptable, confident citizens who embody self-awareness and strong interpersonal skills capable of responsible decision-making and managing their emotions and behaviors. Toward this end, at the elementary level, we offered a significant period of time, 10 weeks, the first 10 weeks of school, to afford our students time to readjust to being back in class, to be with a new teacher and new friends. And so the morning schedule at our elementary classes for the first 10 weeks of the year consisted of literacy, mathematics, and social emotional learning lessons, with remote science and social studies instruction happening in the afternoon. Our 4th and 5th grade students have participated in their parent-teacher conferences. Students are involved at the elementary level with assorted school committees, such as the Principal's Advisory Committee, their student councils, safety committee, climate committee, and more. Many of the students are presenting book talks or participating in book clubs with other classmates. And 5th grade buddies in many of our schools are reading to kindergarten and 1st grade children. At the middle grades, at Brooklawn, Ms. Stout has been implementing a virtual lunch with the principal. We're sure that when they are actually eating in person that will become even more popular, but she's managing to do that virtually right now. Students are involved in climate and culture committee meetings with staff members and administrators. There are student-led tech helper groups, and school counselors are holding small group social emotional learning sessions on stress management, anxiety, and tolerance. Finally, also at the middle school level, many teachers piloted including students in the parent-teacher conference opportunity. At Central Middle School, we have students who are writing their own news reports for Cougar News. Students are involved in climate and culture committees. There's a respect bulletin board that students are able to jot notes and include information on. And again, the counselors are implementing a series of lunchtime presentations to help students with social and emotional learning needs.
Welcome to the second edition of Cougar News. I'm Thomas Colantoni.
And I'm Catherine Blair. In future segments, we'll be sharing current events, trivia, jokes, upcoming events about the school, and fun facts about students and staff.
As you might have already seen, Mrs. Mulrooney sent out an email to vote on our name. The choices were Good Day Central, CMS Weekly, Monthly, and Cougar News. The winner was Cougar News. Thank you for all who voted for our name.
The holidays are coming up and we miss a lot of our Cougar family. We're encouraging staff and students to bring in pictures of their family to hang in the front hallway of the school. We wish all of you a safe and happy holiday.
If you haven't already, please follow the CMS School Counseling and CMS_Cougar Pride on Instagram for news, thoughts, and updates about CMS.
Sports are currently being postponed, but we're still having our clubs even though they're virtual.
If you are remote and are in a club and want to share your thoughts with us, or if you want to showcase a talent on our show, please email Mrs. Mulrooney or Mr. Taka. Thank you for watching the second edition of Cougar News. Tune in next week for another edition of Cougar News.
At the high school, Dr. Thompson also is offering lunch with the principal, virtually for now, once a month to gather student feedback that he shares back with the faculty. During breaks, and we've at both high schools have been providing mask breaks where students have an opportunity to go outside, staff as well. And then the administrators are taking time to speak with students and ask them what's going well and where they would like to see change or improvements made. At Parsippany High School, Dr. Mulrooney continues the Student Principal Summit once a month to gather feedback and then discuss that with the school faculty. Students are participating in Red Cross Readers, and there's a beautiful diversity mural that is still underway. We are planning to hold the Crosstown Leadership Retreat again, and we hope to do that later in June since it will largely be an outdoor event this year. We continue to guide all students to be independent learners. Our new Strive program, which is now at Brooklawn Middle School, is for students with behavioral needs. You may recall we implemented that program 2 years ago at Intervale School, and it's been really successful. We're excited to see that opportunity come to Brooklawn Middle School. We have behaviorists in the district who provide support for students and recommendations for staff. Case managers in all of our schools are providing counseling and emotional support for students. And we've been very fortunate to be able to provide consistent in-person instruction for special education students. Our self-contained classes have attended daily since September, and we've been able to transition to daily and weekly in-person instruction for all of our special education students who are in resource room and co-taught classes. Our school counselors have come to the rescue. They're holding small group social and emotional learning sessions focusing on stress management, anxiety, and tolerance. There are monthly newsletters being sent to our staff members with information and resources for self-care and self-help. And our high school counselors are often partnering with our physical education teachers to deliver lessons on social and emotional learning to our high school students. Goal number 3 speaks to really how do we support our adult learners. Our community of adult learners will be fully engaged in professional growth experiences, which will enable them to continually hone their craft and maximize student achievement. Our Professional Development Committee, which is made up of educators from all of our schools and also includes supervisors and administrators, is working on exploring other teacher evaluation models for a possible September 2021 implementation. We have a distance learning webpage on our district website, which includes tips from teachers, blogs for teachers, technology assistance, and virtual learning resources. Our teachers and our supervisors have created parent videos to provide tips for literacy and math instructional support. And we are offering monthly in-service time for teachers and others to explore their own professional needs each month. So in addition to the strategic planning goals, which I have reviewed with you, we continue to have our overarching 2020-21 goals as they relate to our return to school from the pandemic, that we will protect to the greatest degree possible the health and well-being of students and staff, that we will provide instructional consistency and sound practice, and that we will be sustainable in the areas of school community health, teaching and learning, personnel, and finance. We continue to move the important work of our district goals forward, even as we navigate through this health crisis. I'm thankful for the fine work of our educators and our leaders in having this work continue. Thank you for your attention this evening.